From JW. With you on the marriage thing, I've got two parents that went through a bitter divorce. Marriage is certainly not worth it for me unless there's a prenup. Can't imagine never having kids though. I feel like my life would have less meaning if I never had children. I feel like you and I are like so close to being able to relate to each other, but like we're barely missing the point here, okay? So here's the thing. I think that prenups are a really great idea for all marriages. I think that if you get married young, they literally don't matter because prenups are really just to protect yourself from assets being lost that you earned before marriage. Because once you guys are already married together, at that point, like, you guys kind of have to like share everything because you can make an argument that like without the marriage you wouldn't have actually attained the stuff, so you're basically SOL at that point. So everything that you attained before marriage is what's important, not what you attained during marriage. I mean, I guess you could like try to lawyer up and make it better, but in most cases I don't see that being a possibility. Let's talk about meaning and life for a second though, because I'm actually really fascinated with this topic. It's something that I've struggled with for at least 5 years and I'll probably struggle with for the rest of my life. Kids, meaning of life, okay? I completely understand where you're coming from. We have a biological desire to reproduce. It is what gives us meaning and purpose. That's how we've survived for thousands of years as a species. That's how we'll continue to survive until we inevitably blow ourselves up or destroy our planet. One of those things will happen eventually. So we are taught from a very early age about the importance of reproducing and having kids. Okay, like we're literally given that example from our parents who gave birth to us. Like we see the cycle continue over and over and over again. Okay, we don't have families without that. Like it's impossible for us to be born without having had like that example be set for us at some point or another. Now, that being said, I completely reject the idea that you have to have children in order to have meaning in life. I understand that you're not saying this as a broad statement, you're saying this as a specific statement, but I think that a lot of people will take this as a broad statement, and it's very important to create a distinction here, okay? So what is meaning? What is purpose when it comes to life, okay? I personally believe that there is no inherent meaning or purpose to our lives, to our existence. When I was religious, I believed that we were all part of God's plan. You can make a lot of arguments that our purpose in lives are just to reproduce the biological desire. If you want to talk about like just pure science, I believe that's more abstract than that, but it's also not as divine inspiration as having a God above us, okay? I genuinely believe in a circular argument that our purpose and meaning in life is to find meaning and purpose. I know that is very circular, but let me explain. I think that the first purpose and meaning in our life is to find something that drives us to want to live, okay? Because coming from a guy that used to be pretty suicidal, you have to have some kind of drive to live. You have to have some kind of reason or want to continue on with life, okay? From that point onwards, your meaning and purpose after you find it is to pursue that with everything you have, okay? So for me, I discovered my meaning and purpose in life is to make the greatest positive impact as possible with the short time I'm given in life, to create a butterfly effect that hopefully goes on through generations. So even though my name may not be remembered, the actions that I did will have been passed on even subconsciously through other people. That's all I can ever ask for. I don't think that having children is inherently the best option for that. My main reasoning for not wanting to have children, I have a ton of genetic issues. I have anxiety, got depression, I'm a bald-ass motherfucker, okay? I don't want to make my kids suffer, okay? Not only that, I've had really bad examples of father figures throughout my years. I'm not convinced that I can break the cycle that's been passed on through generations on the sperm donor side of the family. I just don't think it's possible. I don't think it's worth trying. I don't want to make a kid suffer accidentally. I'm good. I'll take a hard pass on that. I'm also very selfish when it comes to my time and energy. I don't want to dedicate decades of my life to a kid. On the off chance that it ends up still loving me by the time that I'm old and gray and they want to spend time with me at that point, I don't think that the trade-off is worth it. I'd rather just spend time with a lifelong partner and move on from there, okay? So for me, creating the meaning and purpose means that I need to make an impact elsewhere, which is why I do YouTube, why I do Twitch, and why I get involved with the local volleyball community. That's why I do all these things, to hopefully make enough positive impact that people want to be inspired by that and to go out and do their own shit. Kind of like looking at like Mr. Beast but at a smaller scale. Like Mr. Beast does like team C's, team trees, food banks. Like he does like all these amazing, wonderful things with the money and fame that he has. Like I want to do something like that, but because I'm not as famous as him, I'll do it at a smaller scale. So again, I think that you and I can agree on certain things. I think that we're both just kind of missing each other's points a little bit, but I just wanted to respond to this comics. I thought that was fascinating. I thought that I could talk about it at length for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Do not forget, keep it casual.